Whew. Good morning, everybody. Man, my village in Bitcraft is really coming along, isn't it? Got an owl. Funny looking owl. Anyway. I'm sorry for anybody who is here looking for Bitcraft today. They might not know this, but I'm a variety streamer. I've been playing this game for a long time. We've been doing a thing called Final Fantasy Fridays. Every Friday I play this for 2 hours, and we're eventually going to beat the entire game, just 2 hours at a time. And it'll probably only take 3 years to beat the entire game. That might be 3 years from now. We just beat Heavensward. Right now, I'm becoming a ninja for Stormblood, because it felt like a fitting job. Hey, I can do an official intro. How about right next to this guy? Good morning, everybody. I'm Old Man Sugarheart. Today we're playing Final Fantasy 14. I wanted to say Heavensward, but that's not quite true. It's not Heavensward. It's not Stormblood yet. We're in between. We're doing rogue quests so that I can become a ninja. Believe it. You looking to head inside? Yeah. Been a while. A fine evening to you, old. And a fine evening it is for a spot of work, wouldn't you agree? This time around, seems some eager buccaneers scampered aboard a local merchantman and made off with a shipment of muskets. Now, seeing as it ain't lawful to cloy from a lamentin vessel to begin with, the Yellow Jackets fell upon them daft coves afore their boots was even dry. They caught the pirates right there on the docks, but the stolen boomsticks were nowhere to be found. Fenced in a longboat deal, I'm thinking. That's when our guild was officially contacted to retrieve the goods, which weren't really needful since the code would have had us on the job anyway. You don't bite the purses of your fellow lamentins and all that. So this is your assignment, me natty lad. That lad? Natty? Find out where them weapons went. Fight that shipment back. Seeing as the cutters has hit a merchantman are already rotten in irons, you needn't rush with your stabbers a-stabbing. I want this job handled quick and quiet. I have a perfect partner to show you how it's done. This here's Vakibi the Stray. Ain't no other rogue can match her in the arts of skulking. Pleasure. Is there a problem, Vakibe? Seem a bit out of sorts. I'm blood and starving. Had one of them finger sandwiches set aside, you know? Those egg-filled tasties they make in Bismarck. But when I got back from your work, it was bloody gone. Oh, that was Vakibi's? That was Underfoot's. Oh, well, you just head up on the job, and I'll see if I can turn up that missing sandwich by the time you return. Alright, Jack. One more little detail you should know. Them muskets was meant for the Yellow Jackets' armories, so once all is Bob, you can hand the goods to one of them their calls directly. Well, alright. We can start whenever you're ready, old. Got a colleague keeping Waddle out for aught that might help us, so I suggest you have a few wids with her first. You'll find her Eileen posing as a fishmonger. Whew. It's a good thing my return to Final Fantasy has me reading such easy-to-read lines with words I recognize and stuff like that. By the way, do you like the outfit? This is just kind of whatever would land on me. Alright. I was looking for a fishmonger. Thought they were right here. Apparently they're on the upper decks. Apparently. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Whew. Anyway. Fishmonger. Hello, sir. We've carp and trout, lobster and shrimp, but I hear tell you've been looking for a special breed of fish. A long, skinny kind, what's Bark'll put a bloke on his arse. The barkfish? We don't sell that kind here, but you might try them foreign market merchants. What was they called again? Ah, yeah, the Traders of the Edge. They hail from the South Isles and are known for dealing in all types of nasty spitters and cutters. I should warn you, these folk ain't ones to question the source of their merchandise. In fact, they seem more than happy to pay for goods what came from below decks, so to speak. But if you're still keen to get your hands on those rare fish, then you best hurry. The Edge merchants what's visiting Limsa is looking to load up and leave the city afore long. Just how he means transport of goods remains a mystery, though. What with iron blades he's got a nursing into his operation, it makes it hard for a girl to get close enough to eyeball the competition. It does. I'll be sure to keep an eye peeled on your behalf, but it might be as ye can learn a little more than from the folk around town. Oof. Good Lord. Can I buy a consonant? Oh, up there. Here's the Edge, eh? Well, if one of their merchants has been staying in the city, then someone will know how to know something to point us in the right direction. Trick is to listen without being seen. You'd be surprised how bulls will cackle when they think no one else is about. We'll focus on the places that see plenty of traffic. You can have the Bismarck, the Ferry Docks, and the East Hawkers Alley. I'll try me luck at a few other spots, then meet you in front of the guild when I'm done. Remember, keep hidden, keep quiet, keep your waddles open. Me waddles, you say? But I don't have a penguin. Well, lower decks, lower decks. There's a place. To the Bismarck. Hi, Sugar. Hi, J-Max. How are you doing? I think you were here from before the Bitcraft days. So I imagine you're not as disappointed as many other people might be to see me playing something else. Go on. Diving Dove appears distressed over some matters. Approach her while cloaked in your hide ability to attempt eavesdropping without honor grumbling. Okay. Watch out. Sneak, sneak. Diving Dove is grumbling in discontent. Ugh, a sneer on the customer's face. Does he think I can command the skillet to cook more swiftly just to meet his pressing departure schedule? I don't know how things are done in the South Seas, but here in Limsa Lamensa, folk appreciate that fine cuisine cannot be rushed. Come now, not speak ill of the patrons. And what was next on my list? Another finger sandwich for the dutiful sisters. Someone there must be rather fond of eggs. I get it. Okay. Is there another place up top? No. Howdy. These talkers, that would be here. Gerolf is speaking in a low but lively tone to a nearby customer. Approach him while cloaked in your hide ability and attempt to eavesdrop on his exhortations. Exhortations. That's a word I'd never heard in my life. There's Gerolf. Gerolf? Oh, over there. Yeah. Gerolf is hawking his wares to a customer. You have quite an eye for quality, sir. We've a splendid range of produce from every corner of Eorzea, but one simply cannot visit Limsa Lamensa without sampling some of the local specialties. Would you care for some freshly squeezed Lanoskin orange juice? Or perhaps our famed salt cod is more your taste? Ooh, salt cod. Gerolf continues to espouse the virtues of his merchandise, but his impassioned urgings appear to have little relevance to your assignment. Okay. Hey, you're new to my stream? Well, welcome. How you doing, Raging Flapjack? Happy to have you here. Doing good? How am I? You found me because of Bitcraft, but you don't mind watching this while I play? Yeah, for me personally, like, once you get Bitcraft kind of down, I think I would prefer to watch something else. Me personally, though. Ririnasu appears distraught. Approach him while cloaked in the hide ability. Listen to his mumbling. See me. Ririnasu is mumbling anxiously to himself. Curse my sense of duty. Would that I stayed at the wench for that extra pint instead of returning early. I didn't ask to see anyone being bribed. Certainly not my relief pilot. Wonder what that merchant was about. Smuggling? Most likely. Report this to the Yellow Jackets? But what if I'm being watched? I could end up face down in the harbor. Objective 3. Throw him face down in the harbor. You'll go get me some pebbles and flowers? Nice. I always use pebbles and flowers. Welcome back, old. I hope your skulking went well. You might be the angel of death with the daggers, Colt, but any rogue what shuns the shadows is headed for an early grave. A sneaky cove can nose about without risking a scarp. A scrap. Sorry. I'm so used to made-up words that I injected one in there. Or slip himself into the best position to ambush a mark. Once they've seen you, though, your rum fun is done. Hiding is part of concealment and part of distracting, and you won't be disappearing on a cove what already knows you're there. Alright, I'm done prattling. What'd you manage to learn about our musket-buying merchant friend? Slipping coin to a ferry pilot, was he? And by what you heard from the chef of the Bismarck, this trader means to hop the twig and soon. That matches me on finance. He's vacated his rooms at the inn and paid his dues in full. Being a merchant, be sure he won't be leaving without his merchandise. So here's the plan. We wait for him to stack his goods on the pier, and you ghost in and grab them firearms. I'm hoping we can get the job done quiet and under the cover of Darkman's. But it never hurts to be prepared for the worst. Sounds like he's got a small army of sellswords on the payroll. Okay. I'll send word to the Yellow Jackets and have them post coal near Hawker's Alley. That way, you won't have far to bolt once you've bitten the goods. Mark should be along at any moment. Old, have you got your skulking boots on? Yeah, sure. Spot the mark at the end of the pier. Sneak over there and lighten his load. Got synced down to level 14. What you need to know about me is that I've been grinding off stream so that I don't have to do any grinding on stream. I'm level 37, even though I don't need to be. Yo, you're not supposed to be here. I thought I ordered my hirelings to keep this jetty clear. 1, 2, 3. There's one missing. My crate of muskets is gone. Thief! Stop him, you useless sluggards. What am I paying you for? Alright. I would have kicked him into the harbor the second he noticed me. You know what? Have some orange juice to drink. Ah, here we go. Roasted nipples. Sling past any other swads on your way? I got the cold. Sorry. You got this. Keep moving. Okay. Yeah, I'm in combat. Let me go ahead and kill this. I can go back to hiding. Honestly, we could probably kill all these guys and still make it in time. Got half an hour. Gentlemen. Anyway, those who might be new here, what you might not know is we are playing all of Final Fantasy XIV's main story. Not doing any side content. We are doing job quests, but I don't really feel like those are side content. We change jobs every expansion. But for the most part, only story. Aye, these are our stolen muskets. The quartermaster will be pleased. We did it. Normally we're dressed better than this. But, you know, during the grind you wear what you got. Although, for like random gear, this at least looks pretty roguish. A delightful purple sash, or bluish. Blurple. Hey girl, hey. That turned hairy, didn't it, Colt? Once you reached the yellow jacket, though, the merchant called off his blades. Wise enough to cut his losses, I'll give him that. And say we're all done here. Let's head inside and tell Jack the bean news. Bene? She turned Italian all of a sudden. I heard the sounds of fighting coming from outside, and now I've whittled the cause of it. I thought we were aiming for a subtle on this job. That many swads was there, but you got the yellow jackets what they wanted. It's all's well that ends well, eh? You're on your way to becoming a first-class rogue, old. And the job didn't unfold exactly as planned. But do you see the value of keeping out of sight? Skulking might seem slow, but it can save you time and a fair amount of bleeding in the long run. Speaking of unexpected developments, I have a bit of news for you, Vakibe. Sir sighing low, but it seems the unprincipled cove that has yaffled your sandwich. There were not but crumbs to be found. No, my sandwich was a Bismarck special. You know how much I was looking forward to that meal? My belly's about ready to cave in on itself. It's a tragedy of the highest order, love. You know I can't bear to see a rogues in such distress. I gave Underfoot a special assignment. Be back any moment now. With a freshly made Bismarck special finger sandwich. Did that for me? You're not japing with me, are you, Jack? Yeah, this ain't no japing matter. It's a guild master's responsibility to see all his coves and morts they're best for the job. Ah, Jack, there you are. I got the sandwich you ordered. Didn't the chef give me a waddleful when I said I was in a hurry? Maybe next time you could think twice before you yaffle a fellow rogue sup. Oh, bollocks. Jack, did you eat my supper? Now, lass, let's not be hasty. There's a fresh new sandwich right here, yeah? No harm done, hey? Lloyd's something which belonged to me, Jack. Can't ignore the code. Hey, the code. We mustn't ignore the code. You're having a laugh, aren't you, lass? Lass? Ah! Might be the swiftest string up I've ever seen. Punishment to fit the crime. Take a good long look, old. Code exists to preserve peace in Limsa. To keep the alleys from running red with blood. City's me home. I'll draw daggers on any cove fool enough to threaten the peace. Pointed lesson. Let's head inside, eh? Your sandwich will get cold. Hey! You mean to leave me here all night? At least you gave me a grand view of the harbor. God's piss, these robes are tight. And now we find ourselves indebted to the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild. The impropriety of it all. Would that I could see them occupying a cell next to those thieving pirates. That sassy lassie. Looking at inside? Yeah. Them ropes will leave chafe marks for a bleeding week. I've wriggled myself free, but that's the last time I let me belly do the thinking. And just think, Vakibi strung me up over an egg sandwich. This cove's what well and truly stomp on the code get far worse. Keep up your training, lad. You'll soon be handing out the rogue justice yourself. Yeah, I hate to grab the jackboots, but for some reason those are better than what I'm wearing. Lurkin? Hey, Ada. Enjoy your lurk. Ah, old. Just the cove I was hoping to see. Here's some nasty trouble brewing. Lion's on his way, so sit tight and pay attention. Calling Underfoot and the Stray in on this as well. It'll be a right little rogue family reunion. Jack, the clients arrived. Yes, here comes from Maelstrom Command with confidential orders direct from the Admiral herself. So you know this won't be a simple job. Afraid your guildmaster speaks truly. It was several days ago when an emaciated man stumbled into one of our camps seeking aid. On questioning the poor fellow, he discovered that he narrowly escaped a life of slavery. Claimed that pirates had raided his village, abducting him and many others to sell in the black market auction block. He dispatched a patrol to confirm the tale and found the village almost completely destroyed. It was a meager settlement without so much as a guardhouse. Thus did its unkind face escape our notice until now. I think these pirates never heard of the code. Pillaging honest coals and dipping their wicks in the slave trade? They're headed right way for a good stabbing. Aye. Though it ain't set down in so many wids, code's notoriously unforgiving against those who raised weapons against the weak. After all, the first pirates in these parts were culls that was fleeing oppression in the northern seas. Nor your history and you risk becoming what it was ye hated the most. They leave a mark for us then. And we do. From the descriptions given to us by the escaped villager, we've determined that these lawbreakers are members of the Jolly Merchants, fire crew in possession of an official privateering license. It would appear, however, that privateering has been naught but a screen behind which to hide their illicit activities. One can only imagine how many other Lamentan citizens have fallen prey to these wicked slavers. We've let it happen right under our very noses. Naturally, the Admiral desires a swift resolution to this ignominy. Ignominy? But merely tracking down those poor souls who have already been sold has proven heavily taxing on our allocated resources. We could throw more soldiers at the problem. That runs the risk of drawing the small folks' attention and inciting undue panic. Thus, do we come to the Rogues Guild for help. Ask that you eliminate the jolly merchants and liberate the villagers presently in their custody. That you do so with the utmost discretion. Consider it done. When those nasty coves feel our short blades pricking into their backs, they'll enjoy but a brief moment of regret before the code is rightly enforced. Yarr. Alright, let's get to work. I'll be going after the jolly merchants myself. Underfoot, Pakibe, you two lend your skills to the Maelstrom's investigation and see what you can whittle about the coals what have already been sold. Old, you're coming with me. I think you're ready for the next step of your education. Aye, the stabbery. Shall we get after them slave cutthroats then? Klein tells me that the jolly merchants set sail from Aleport a few bells ago. And they might even be aboard an imperial ship or two. That's some mummery they put on to amuse the Admiral's swads. I reckon the rest of the crew would be back on land looking to snap the shackles on a fresh herd of chattel. And just to prove me theory right, one of them jolly bastards got himself spotted creeping about the Ruffmans on the lower Lanoska. There's a Benny Cove over at the Moraby dry docks by the name of Swayson will likely know the full story. He's more of a shipwright than a rogue these days, but he keeps his glaze keen for the guild. Head over there and have yourself a prattle. I'll join you soon and like. Whew. I've not gotten enough sleep to read these sentences they're throwing my way. Moraby dry docks. That was not it. Hang on. Boop. I remember all this. Never been a rogue before, so all these quests are new to me. Swarson. Aye, I know what you are. What can old Swarson do for you? Hunt down jolly merchant slavers. Well, that explains a few things. I was keeping an eye on the bustle about the dry docks, you see, when I spied an odd trio off in the distance. This rough-looking sod, one of your pirates, I'd wager, was prodding along another bloke, and this poor skinny lass. I've seen whipped curs less miserable than the two being herded. Last I saw, they were heading south. If what you're saying about this slavery business is true, then that jolly merchant's not gonna walk his charges all the way to the market. He's likely got a boat waiting for him. If I were the slaver heading south, my vessel would be hidden somewhere around the Salt Strand. Doesn't leave you much time. Said Jack was on his way, yeah? Best go on ahead. I'll point him in the right direction when he gets here. Sounds like an ambush. Here's the salty salt lands. No, but seriously. Spy on the merchant. Till Jack arrives. There he is. Whee! Nyom. Still don't have a better mount than the fat chocobo. I don't know if I ever will. Corson came through for us, eh? And what do we got here? This one looks a charmer. Sudden move, I told you. Me peg-legged grandma obbles quicker than you miserable sacks of shite. Or maybe you need another thrashing, is that it? You already forgot what happens when you try me generous patience? I'm sorry, please, no more beatings. We walked as fast as we could, but we need food, water. And get in the boat and shut your traps. You'll get fed when we reach the other side. The other side? What are you talking about? Are you challenging me or just plain daft? I told you to keep your bleeding mouth shut. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Alright then, Scaly Arse, she's weeping again. Listen, we're headed to Aleport, alright? That's where me and my shipmates gather to take stock of the merchandise. Decide what gets sold where. You see, some buyers want only lads, while others is looking for lasses. As long as we keep them rich bastards happy, we make more coin than we ever did scrapping for the Empire's war galleys. Not that you care about that, I suppose. What matters to you is that you'll be loaded on the Jolly Merchantman, sailed off to God's knows where, and Limsa will be a distant memory. If I was you, I'd fill that empty belly with a big old gobful of sweet Lenoskin sea breeze. I'm sort of tempted to put a blade twixt his eyes here and now. That won't get the job done. We'll let him guide us to his mates in Aleport, then we'll mill the whole bloody lot of them. Jolly merchants will get their due, don't you worry about that. I don't know, I think we can kill him now. They've gone. Best hurry to Aleport. Unless you got a quicker way, there's a ferry that leaves from Candlekeep Quay. Meet you across the water, lad. Doing rogue quests? I am doing rogue quests. Trying to be ninjas before the end of the day. And it seems Jack forgot we can literally teleport. Oop. Whoop, whoop. Hey, yo. Old That Jolly Merchant Cove's still with his captive. Seems they've taken a room under the alias. An alias. Hiding their operation in plain sight. Bold as brass, aye? But it's an old slaver's trick. See, even if some cult recognizes their merchandise, only a single handler gets boned. The rest of the crew can just whistles all innocent like while their mate is marched off and cry cockles. And you can bet they've threatened bloody murder for any prisoner what raises hue and cry. Patience now, Colt. We'll just wait until we're sure that all these blackguards have arrived. Meanwhile, you'd better sharpen your stabbers. Got a busy night ahead of us. Build a stabbing. Ready for the job then? Well, the Jolly Merchants once the Jolly Merchants are here, we'll ambush the sods and set their captives free. Hawkeye. That ought to be long enough. We'll just have to hope there ain't any stragglers. Listen closely now, Colt. Merchants disguised as plain old venturers and haven't settled themselves in 3 separate rooms here in Aleport. How we whittle which coves are the merchants? Easy. Take a look at the daddles of that bingo swilling coal over yonder. He's wearing lavender gloves, the exact same type with the nasty sod of the salt strand had on. That'll be how we can find how they find each other in a crowd. Yeah. Of course, it's also how I whittled where each of the bastards was staying. Just snilch the hopeless glazes, the company and they keep. You can be sure you found your mark. So here's the job all laid out for you. We hit all 3 common rooms, mill the merchants quick and dirty like, get those captives their bleeding lives back, alright? Oi! The storeroom's door has been forced open. Some thieving sod's been at the ale. Yeah. Well, they can't have gotten far. Better get the lads to do a sweep of the port. Ugh, merchant. So that was the Merchant Cove, gulping pilfered ale. You'd think they'd be doing their best not to draw attention to themselves, all things considered. Bloody oafs. Now we got a swarm of yellow jackets buzzing about, looking for blood. They spot us wandering around in the darkness, a feeling they'll ask first and ask questions later. Be best then if the patrols never knew we was here. Slip in as sneaky as we can into each of the common rooms and use them telltale lavender gloves to identify our marks. There's innocent coals in there as well, mind. So let's not go stab any that doesn't deserve it, eh? Thinking we should head out one at a time. Better avoid the yellow jackets. So I'll let you go take the lead. After you, old. Gotcha. I'm here to go pass out. Good luck on enjoy your ninja quest. I will. I'm super excited to be a ninja. Let's see. Pink gloves, pink gloves. Ah. Stab. Get out of me face. Stabbed you in the back. You cool. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yep. On a day's work. Sneaky, sneaky. I see you, Pinky. I'm free? Free-ish. Now you gotta work for the rest of your life until you die. But you know, that's more of a philosophical prison. Trick is to find contentment in your misery. This isn't a room, is it? Sure looks like one. Ladies. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm free? Oh. That looks to be the last of them. And you didn't even need any help. Back into the shadows, lad. Already there, man. Quit blowing my cover. Hands off our merchandise. Oh, you just started Final Fantasy 14? Not like just started. We are right outside Stormblood, and we're switching jobs for the process. Nice, yeah. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for about a year now. And I sprained my finger recently. And so like I've been laying off it and playing a low impact game like Bitcraft. Or leaning extra heavily into it. But normally we do Final Fantasy Fridays. We're completing the entire main story 2 hours at a time. Every week. Probably for the next 3 years. Heyo. Not a bad night's work, eh, old? The Maelstrom will be taking care of them poor coals we freed, and I've made sure none of the merchants we downed are like to get up again. As for the Jolly Merchantman, well, her crew can expect a visit from the Admiral's finest galleys. It won't be for tea and crumpets on the poop deck. Right, me natty lad. Our part is in this is done. Time to head back to the sisters. Excuse me, are you the one that freed us? Aye. Was there something else we could do for you, miss? Maelstrom swads will take you home if that's what you're worried about. Oh no, I wanted to thank you. If I may, there was one other thing I wish to tell you. Moments before you rescued me, a dreadful pirate was muttering into his cups. Something about another raiding party that hadn't made it back. Beg your pardon? Seems they've been hunting for slaves in western Lanaska, and being so close to Aleport, our captors assumed they were out rounding up chattel until the last bell. I just couldn't bear the thought of anyone else suffering as I have. Please, is there naught you can do? Certainly is, miss. You get yourself safely home and leave this stray pack of jackals to us. Pray for your success. Thank you again. So much for savoring a victory pint. I'll send word of this development to Underfoot and the Stray. We've some well-earned trade for the last of these jolly merchants. By the by, how's your throwing arm, old? I think it's time I learned you how to fling a proper blade. When you're out in the open rough mints, you often find the need to sting a cove from a distance. I'm sure a canny lad like yourself will figure out all sorts of uses for a well-thrown dagger. Well, keep it in mind before for when we hunt down the rest of them slavers. I do like throwing things. Took my wife axe throwing once for one of our anniversaries. She loved it. Hello? Mug. Don't mind if I do. The last few jolly merchant bastards must be camped out somewhere in western Lanaska. Now, if I was a black-blooded, gill-scrubbing slaver, where would I be hiding? There's not to the west but Sahagan pools, and those bollocks for brains pirates no better than to trespass on fishback territory. They won't want to chance run into the patrols near Aleport, so that just leaves us the east block. They'll likely be nested down in the ruins out amongst the dodos. That's where we'll try and pick up their trail. You head over there and snilch the place. I send word to the sisters in the Maelstrom. Zoop. Another, like, kind of a side goal for my Final Fantasy XIV playthrough is I stitch all of the VODs together. And I'm making Final Fantasy XIV the movie, where it's just a playlist of like 12-hour videos of the entire playthrough. So that if you ever need some like background noise for, you know, a solid week of straight gameplay, I got that for you. Hang on. Gotta eat my roasted nipples. Wah. Open your eyes, son, please. Pray help our child. I got you. Thank you for freeing us. We've been tied up since those awful pirates snatched us from our beds. I should have read that with more emotion. Those are some interesting looking dodos you got there, old. No sign of the merchants, though, eh? Their leader mentioned heading over to Aleport. He said there was something about there being no signal. That was a signal that something was wrong. They left us hobbled here like lambs for the market. Well, them japed about keeping the meat unsullied in case there was trouble. Pray, let us flee this place before they return. And who are you to just sidle in and set loose our hard-won prizes, hmm? Oh, that mustache. Is that a mustache? It was the damnedest thing. We'd half a crew lodging in Aleport, not one of them survived the night. Done in by a couple of sneaky curs what favored the short blades, they say. I'm supposing that was you two. Seems you got a bone to pick with our choice of trade. I can't say I've got much use for slavers, except as a place to bury me knives. Ah, and I wouldn't bother yourself with waiting on your ship to come back neither. Jolly merchants are done for. You might have the right of it, lad. But then, you wouldn't know what kind of coin three earthy slaves like them ones will bring us. I have a new ship and a new crew before a single moon has passed. Hear that, chattel? You're each worth a shiny blood and fortune. And ye've me to thank for helping you learn your true worth. Ignore this bleeding sod. In fact, why don't you step back a ways? These coves are about to learn the consequences of breaking the code. Discussion like this is like to get messy. Did you not think we'd come for you? And stifle your victim's scream in the Darkmans. But the shadows are always listening. Take that, barber, with your barber stick. Even the dodos are slavers? Captain Jack, you're gonna die. You know, an AoE would be so nice right about now. They still come. Something, words and text. What's up? Underfoot is here to get underfoot. It's about time. Or at least I would be if any booger was left standing. A fine pile of quarons. It's not for us to do. No scraps for the latecomers. Bolt and me had a hunger. Yar. Thank you. I shudder to think what horrid fate awaited us had you not helped us escape. I knew someone would come. You're like the heroes in the stories. They always arrive at the perfect time and triumph over the villains. Do you think I could be a hero just like you? I know I could be brave and strong too. I just know it. You don't want to be like me, lad. Got strung up for stealing a sandwich. Listen. Now me and the coves over there, we're the ones that what the scary folk are afraid of. And that's because we keep the rules for the world they live in. We don't much care if you shirk your chores or get into fights. If you break the code and betray your mates, that's when we'll come after you. No matter how far you run or how you'll hide. Live your life like the hero you want to be, though, and you'll never need to worry about that. Hey, you two can stubble it and all. I assume you're the citizens who were abducted by the Jolly Merchants? I'm Captain Malala of the Yellow Jackets. Maelstrom Command has entrusted me with conducting you to safety. All right, lad. These folks will take care of you. Go on. You best not get left behind. Was there aught else, Captain? Word on a new job? A job? From me? For you? How patently absurd. I'd rather hire a sewer rat than to mind me larder. Was it during one of your jobs that you turned Aleport into a slaughterhouse? What dark age is it that you must employ assassins to enforce the law? Is the continued dalliance of the underworld miscreants such as you that prevents Limsa from ever fully expunging the stain of piratical infection. Look at these weapons you bear. A civilized person uses such implements to carve meat or peel fruit and leaves them at the table where they belong. You perhaps clench them twixt your teeth as you swing over rails like the pirates you hunt. Our fair city has no place for those who refuse to abandon the brutish ways of the past. The only champions of justice this nation require are valiant and forthright soldiers of the Yellow Jackets. Okay. Jack, what the bloody hells does this Cole want with us? Not the foggiest idea, love. Just smile and nod. Not come here to be patronized. I've come to put a decisive end to piracy in all its forms. Consider this visit a gauntlet thrown at the collective feet of the Rogues Guild. Heed well my words. Just before dawn this very morn, a maelstrom vessel stocked with provisions was boarded and looted by pirates. Much of the cargo was stolen. That is vexing indeed, but the theft of the 3 items in particular, 3 unique treasures of nigh incalculable worth, That most distresses my martial colleagues. As for the brigands, they made well their escape, disappearing into the dawn's mist along with their precious plunder. A Rumtail, what's it to do with us? Challenge you. A contest to reclaim these stolen treasures. Should my yellow jackets and I succeed at retrieving the greater share, I shall formally propose the abolition of the Rogues Guild. Upon review of our achievements, the Admiral will surely concede that your unscrupulous institution has outlived its usefulness. Blow it out your waddle. I've better ways to spend me time. Oh, do you now? This incident constitutes a theft against the nation of Limsa Lominsa. Does that not violate your beloved code? If I'm not mistaken, no choice but to rise to the occasion. Unless, of course, you mean to slink back into your hole and abandon the fundamental precepts of your duty. All right. You screeching shrew. You made your bloody point, and you'll be sorry that you did. Promise you that. Our paltry promises amount to naught but the in the face of my conviction. I shall not rest until Limsa Lominsa is free of every last buccaneer, scoundrel, and shadow-dwelling ne'er-do-well. What now, Jack? For right now, we head back to the sisters. She's got 2 of the things already, doesn't she? Cat is right in my lap. And he's shedding directly up my nose. It is absolutely the worst. Alright, back home. Oh. Kitty, I didn't mean it. He left. Heard me talking trash. Think this is the way? Yeah. Whew. The length of these quests always surprises me. Like, I thought for sure we'd be ninjas today, but it's going to be cutting it pretty close. What do you say, Lon Ward? For a wee lass, that Malala's got some bollocks. And it seems she's well done with out of the wits of the pirate stock. I'll take kindly to Cole's pulling me strings, but the shrew is right. The code's been broken and we've got a job to do. On the sounds of it, though, them coves knew what they were about when they cloyed them treasures. I'll need you at your best. It's time you learned the art of mugging. Rough up a Cole in just the right way, and he'll give up more than what you'd get if you just plain knocked him on his arse. Me and the lads will be busy whittling them the story on them bit and baubles, so you're free to head out and sharpen your skill. Might even be as you'll pocket some extra blunt while you're at it. Hard leather krakows. I've learned to mug. Ugh. Shoes do not go with this outfit. Yeah, there's Mug. What does Mug do? Boost the damage I do. That's nice. Been practicing your dance steps, old, because we're about ready to run rings around the Captain Malala and her swads. The Yellow Jackets have been pressing their investigation into the treasures what was cloyed from the Maelstrom tub. But, as you know, got our own network of coves what don't miss nada of the goings-on about town. For the sharp end of the job, it'll be you, me, Underfoot, and the Stray. Let's get down to business, eh? Gabby's late to the feast, so I'll make sure that we're all on the same page for the now. When you get down to it, we have two goals for this job. Bite back them 3 treasures, mill the coves what cloyed them in the first place. And be sure that the Yellow Jackets will be doing her damnedest to beat us to the marks, and seeing as the fate of the guild is at stake, we best not drag our do-beaters on this one. I say we grapple them baubles afore she's even lifted anchor. Give her a proper reason to rage against us rogues. Seem awful keen on this contest all of a sudden, Jack. Aye, well here's the thing. Sent me grievances to the the sea democracy. Thalassocracy. Regarding the Shrew's challenge, but them paper shufflers don't care a whit as long as one of us gets the job done. I figured we'd sail with the wind rather than against it. Besides, we wouldn't want to shirk our duties and force poor Captain Malala to blunder about it in the shadows of the Darkmans now, would we? How very gentlemanly of you. Well, them's the cards of what's been dealt, ain't they? Now stow your quips and let's hear what you've learned about them bloody treasures already. Aye, the treasures. According to the manifest of the Maelstrom vessel, we're looking to bite back that cerulean star, the Silver Sorrows, and something called the Black Sarcophagus. Aside from the fancy names, I was able to whittle a few more details. Cerulean star, for starters, the big old blue diamond which shines like, well, like a star, I suppose. And then we got the Silver Sorrows, a pair of earrings what once graced the wattles of the Sultana of Ul'dah. The tale there, but one that don't concern us at the present. Lastly, this Black Sarcophagus thing. I'm afraid that one remained a mystery no matter how much I poked and prodded. In any case, all 3 of those trinkets was recorded as spoils from official privateering raids. As you know, pirate will usually sell his plunder through a reliable fence. Sometimes, though, holding an auction is the only way to offload goods what is too extravagant or just too bleeding rare for the average coal to deal in. Our 3 wondrous treasures fell out into the auction-only category. When the bid and went began in Nailport, the Thalassocracy weighed in with its ample purse, made some unmatchable offers, then organized a tub for the merchandise to be shipped back to Limsa. That's when our marks swooped in and picked their transport clean. Had a few wids with them. Maelstrom sailors as survived the attack, and they pointed fingers at the grinning curs. Problem is, not one coal's seen hide nor hair of the curs, not to mention their bloody ships since the raid. Sorry I'm late, Jack. You'll want to hear this. Some of the cargo, what was cloyed from the transport, was found during a routine inspection of the Lothogran checkpoint. Lothogran? Have the curves made landfall then? And what are the treasures? Any mention of them? Not that I've heard, but the jackets ain't done shaking out all the boxes yet. We better get eyes out there quick like. Old, Underfoot, you're fresh for the run, ain't ya? Come on, Colt. I'll race you to the checkpoint. Bit of irony in here for naming me after a young horse. I have been playing a lot of Uma Musume. Where am I going? Lothogran. Alright, but like, where's Lothogran? Middle of Nazca. I have been playing a lot of Uma Musume. I got a lucky pull just yesterday. Got some new horse. She's got 2 names. It's like Tokateo or something like that. She's on fire. Haven't used her yet, but like that was the last thing I got before I went to bed. I don't usually like to promote gacha games on stream, but honestly, probably one of the better ones I've ever played. Just, you know, don't lose your money, friends. I won our race. You owe me a pint, old. Japes aside. Oh, it looks like Vakibe was right about the cargo. From what I've been able to catch from the swads at the gate, seems a peddler was boned for carrying goods what was known to be aboard that transport. They carted the poor sods away in chains, but the cargo itself is still here. Saw a pair of yellow jackets carrying boxes up that wooden ramp. We need to know what's in them crates. I get the feeling they won't open their gans for the asking, though. Not while this old fool's challenge is going on. You think you could skulk over there and see if they found the treasures yet? Just hide to gather information. Stuff. It's over here. This one get stare. It's a nice casual walk. Two yellow jacket soldiers are inspecting the seized cargo. Approach them while cloaked in your hide ability to attempt to listen to their progress. Okay. Yellow jackets are discussing the contents of the crates. This is all junk. No diamond, no earrings, no bloody black sarcophagus. It's like we'll have to lean hard on the skinny peddler if we're to find them treasures. Sergeant says the merchant's still pleading ignorance. Claims he was hired to carry goods through the checkpoint, not else. What a pile of pugil shite. I'm guessing the pirates have split the cargo and are trying their luck at every checkpoint. Captain Malala's already given orders to double the guard and inspect every cart and wagon what comes through. Okay. Till next time, He-Man. So they found not of value, eh? Bene. Thought we'd lost the contest before we'd even properly started. But be that as it may, something don't add up here. Why would you order a coal to carry the goods through the checkpoint? No smuggler's that daft, surely. And even if by some miracle the goods got squirmed through Lothogran without raising a fuss, why would you risk taking merchandise back to the city what you cloyed it from? There's a bigger picture here. You need to take a step back to see it. Assuming the curs hired this peddler to do their dirty work, there'll be someone in the shadows as brokered a deal, and I just happen to know a cove what makes his business to oversee these kinds of shady arrangements. Thing is, this black marketeer bloke changes his haunts depending on how the breeze blows. Quite literally, in fact. Seem to recall the navigator's bell being shifted by a westerly this morning, so that'd put him... Aha! The Tiller's Rest. Nice and close. Why don't we go ask him a few questions before we head back to the guild? Okay. Pillar's Rest, which is over by Summerford. Did I teleport like 10 feet? Got a feeling I did. Bop, 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 bop. Hey. Quite a party you got here. I pride myself on the memory of our faces, but yours is unknown to me. You an earnest customer or an inquisitive annoyance? I must be sure of your intentions. Ekerns. Them's trying to pluck. They got a boot to the head. What's up? The dance is old, but the name is new. You got that one backwards. The dance is new, but my name is old. Put away your daggers, rogue. I've peddled my wares to your kind since the upright thieves stalked the night. Speak. What would you have of this humble merchant? Still tormented the colts, eh, Granddad? Who is he talking to? We've come for information on a smuggling job. There was a peddler what was caught at the Lothogran checkpoint moving merchandise for the Grinning Curs. Pleaded innocence even when he had the screws put to him. You wouldn't know aught about that deal, would you? Every last sordid detail. Not a single grain of stolen sand passes through the shadows without my knowledge. But such prickly wisdom lodges tightly in one's throat. Be brought to ease the pain of its passage. Spare me the theatrics, Granddad. Here's your usual purse. Sum is paid, the deal is made. Answers may sate your fickle hunger. Your hapless peddler, he was pleaded innocent, but he was a beast of burden employed by the associates of the Grinning Curs, and likely knew not of his freight's tainted nature. A pawn, you will. Convenient decoy. There are those amongst my acquaintances who specialize in providing such services. That's what I thought. The Curs wanted a coal to get caught. Now these jackets have had a taste, they'll waste their time yaffling every shite pie that comes through their checkpoints. Meanwhile, the real treasures are hidden away in the Darkmans, along with the Grinning Curs. Not the Darkmans, Master Rogue. Missed. Aside from the traveling merchant, the Curs associates have spent coin on another piece for this little game. Navigator. One who's practicing in piling a vessel through the Doxies Pull. The Doxies? Gods only know how many ships have sailed into that fog and soup and never come out again. That's where you say the curves have gone to ground? There's a trick. It took some bollocks. Once their haunted tub was sitting dimmer in the mist, though, would have been easy to have these associates of their ferry, ferry the junk goods to Lanoska. Then the canny coves just need to wait for the peddler to get bone and draw the gaze of the yellow jackets inland. You need to strike now. As soon as they learn the coast is clear, they'll flee for open waters. Fair appraisal of events. Now, if you'll know the location of your marks, however, it'll not be so difficult to track them down. Doxy's Pool was once an impenetrable shroud, but ever since the calamity, the mists are far less constant. Narrow your search to the heaviest banks. You'll soon uncover those who wish to remain unseen. Now, warning. The mist conceal their other daggers besides the dogs you seek. Careless misstep may land you on the chopping block. The chopping block? You can't mean. Seems I found myself another lead to look into. And hurry back to the Jack and tell him what we've learned so far. Chopping block. The Lumberjacks Guild. Or Maelstrom, I don't know. Get the cake, birdie. Alright. Hustle. I got 25 minutes left to become a ninja. The last quest had us found our level down to 19. Means it was probably like a level 15 quest. Means this is probably a level 20 quest. So this one, the next one, and then the next one will be a ninja. So can we do 3 quests in 20 minutes? You looking ahead inside? Maybe. Probably not. I really want to be a ninja like tonight. About time, lad. He was gone so long I almost sent the stray after you. What happened to Underfoot? So our marks, our bitten baubles are snuck inside Doxy's pool, eh? I'll not discount the old man's warning, but we may not have a Bernard chance to crash the curs and grabble them treasures. Board their ship right now. You, me, and Vakebi. I suppose we'll be needing ourselves a tub for the voyage. Out of the woods with the Swarson and see what the dry docks can spare us by way of a ship and a reliable crew. Get your kit together and meet us there. Okay. Orby dry docks, right? Whew. Starting to remember the names of places again. And once again, eat the roasted nipples. Yar, where's me boat? You don't look like a boat. Alright, old. I pulled some favors and there's a crew what'll get us close enough to scamper aboard the Cur's vessel. We'll be cramped up on the deck if we want to mill the whole lot at once. We'll soon find ourselves up against the rails. So we go in, quick, quiet, and try to knock them off a few at a time. Well, Colt, eager to test your sea legs? Yarr. Right, no one's seen us thus far. Let's get to work. Those two back there are yours. These two? Follow me, old. All right. You're the captain? All right. I know how you found us, but they'll never find what's left of you. Leopard bastards. Let's see how quick you are. Open the cage. Let the growler off its chain. Growler? He must be the growler. Man, Jack, what's getting into you? You can do better than that. Kick you in the back of the head. Jack, I found me one of the treasures. Unless there's another fist-sized blue diamond on board, it's got to be the cerulean star. As for the other two baubles, toss the cabins and been through the old ilm by ilm. There's not else here. Just have to ask all Sweetleg, won't we? Spit out, Cur. Where are you keeping the rest of your treasure? You'd think I'd spill me guts for the likes of you, rogue. Maybe you wouldn't at that. But what about this partner you're working with? How'd you... We don't need no partner. So you're telling me this was all your own idea. You woke up one day and decided you'd attack a maelstrom transport right off the coast of Aleport, then disappear into the love and embrace of the Doxy's pool. Not exactly your style, is it? The Granite Curs are too bleeding famous for being a crew but turned their snouts up at privateering in favor of keeping to the old ways. You've only escaped the Yellow Jackets' grip this long by crawling on your bellies and snatching scraps what fell from the table. You ain't the type to sink your teeth into a Navy-owned vessel no matter the prize. Aye, well, maybe there ain't no profit in being cautious no more. The age of pirates is swift coming to an end. Merle Weeb won't be stopped, not by a piddling little crew like mine. That's why we've thrown our lot in with the executioners. That blue rock was just our share of the loot. Just scraps from the table. Like you said, you want them other trinkets, then you'll have to take it up with our new mates. One job at a time, lad. First, we need these stinking coves and their tub back at the docks. Putting aside the issue of who gave the orders, there's no doubt that these was the coves what raided the Maelstrom ship. Now, for a punishment that fits the crime. I was informed a certain well-known pirate ship was spotted weighing anchor at the Morrowby dry docks. I assume that was your work? Aye, you missed all the excitement, Captain, but never you mind. The Cerulean Star is back and Bob and our sneaky little fambles. Huh. These must be the grinning curs. Degenerate fiends! How dare you ply your filthy trade in laments and wares? How many innocent sailors were massacred that you might sate your vile avarice? Every one of your kind ought to be lined up and shot. Musket ball is the only answer for the rampant display of lawlessness. Wait, what do you mean to execute them here on the bloody docks? At least take the buggers into custody first. Handing them over to you for lawful punishment will satisfy the demands of the code just as well. We've already got answers to our questions, so feel free to take them away. Not presume to give me orders, rogue. You've only managed to capture these villains and their ill-gotten treasure by employing unsavory and unconscionable means. You've not more than pirates yourselves. Bastards ain't worth a true pirate's spit. The Upright Thieves was formed to protect us from ourselves. Now they're just dogs for the Admiral. Merle Weeb yanks the leash, and another buccaneer disappears. You rogues are traitors to your own kind, if it hadn't been for you. Aye, go on then, blame me and me coves for your own failures. You knew what you was about when you defied the code. You knew that we'd be after you. We're done here. There's still true treasures left, rogue, and I mean to claim them both. I'd reconsider this contest of yours, Captain. Turns out this fish we're trying to hook is a shark. It might just swallow ye whole. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be even shorter after dealing with the executioners. Special greens. I had a wonderful salad the other day. Now, I'm a fat guy, and you wouldn't think a fat guy would like a salad. But a lot of people who think salads suck just don't know how to make a good one. Like, they just dump out the bag and they're like, oh, this is flavorless, crunchy, fibrous goop. I hate it. But man, you throw a bunch of croutons on there, some shredded mozzarella. I put on some raspberries. Sprinkle it with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And a healthy dose of ranch dressing. It's wonderful. Like, it's an actual salad that you look forward to. It's crazy. Bene, work on that ship, old. First blood is ours. How'd you take to fighting a sea? There's a few that can drop an opponent as quick as the rogue. But mind you, don't exhaust yourself just flailing your blades at the tougher coves. That goes double for what ye and your mates on your flanks. Notice yourself starting to flag. There's not wrong with pulling back from time to time and staggering your attacks with each other to keep the pressure on. Said it afore, Colt, but I'll need you sharp enough to carve steel for what's to come. Afraid this'll be more of a challenge than even what that little shrew was bargaining for. Assuming the curves was lying about the executioners, and the executioners that are who I bloody think they are, twixt you and me, though. I'm hoping the name is just some laughable coincidence. Talking about the Marauders Guild, aren't you? Time I do a quest. Get a new pair of shoes. Ugh. These clash even harder than the last ones. Oh there, old. We have a rough job ahead of us, and that's a fact. Matters are tangled enough, what with the Malala Mort snapping at our heels, but we managed to grapple the first trinket without much fuss. Fighting back of them other two treasures, though, that'll be a different story once the stray gets here. I'll explain what, or more to the point, who we're up against. Alright, we have two baubles left on this list, the Silver Sorrows and the Black Sarcophagus. Let's see where we're at. Oi, where's Perimu got to? Underfoot? He's still looking to whittle the tail behind that bleeding sarcophagus. We'll not be cloying that stickler until we've had at least an inkling as to what the bloody thing looks like. Treasures aside, I've been doing some digging on my own on these executioner allies of the Grinning Curs, and I'm afraid that name weren't no coincidence. Old, ye heard of the bloody executioners, I hope? It seems them curs was feeding that from the famble of one of the nation's greatest pirate powers. Ain't no ordinary crew of cutthroats, lad. Within limps and laments of the bloody executioners wield a power and influence second only to the Admiral herself. They were none too fond of merleweeb and or prohibition on piracy, and it was only the overwhelming threat posed by the Garlean Empire would eventually convince them to play nice with the thalassocracy. But pirates ain't the ones to play nice for long. Now that Hilfer ain't around to helm the ship, the solidarity of the bloody executioners has begun to show cracks. All the captains and lieutenants have begun to form their own factions and are scrambling to claim their top chair for themselves. Of course, not one of them bloody cove can agree with one another which way the executioners ought to sail. Among these new factions, though, there's a group pushing to break free of the Admiral's grip completely. Turns out these reformists, as they call themselves, was the ones that took the Grinning Curs under their wing. Which means they've got possession of the last two treasure. We've yet to cloy. Rumors around the town say that even for executioners, these coves are the bloody and ruthless and not to be crossed. You should sit this one out, Jack. Piss on Malala's contest. This ain't worth the kind of grief. You'd be inviting the wrath of a crew so large and dangerous that even the Admiral ain't keen to come in blows with them. Even if they came after us. Large or small, don't matter. They broke the code. They hit that maelstrom tub. The Grinning Curs are paying for that crime, but we'd be poor sodding excuses for rogue if we let the real culprits carry on unpunished. Mean to see the job to an end. That means biting back them treasures and handing out proper justice as to them as deserve it. But Jack, listen. With all the infighting going on in the present, us backstabbing a short blade one faction's toe ain't like to bring the whole executioner crew down on our heads. Besides, them reformist buggers are so far split from the main mob that they've been avoiding the city altogether. Now, it's about time we got to work. Old, you tracked down our black market contract. I've set him looking into the Curs' new allies a while back. So he should have some answers for us by now. Bail was lifted by a southerly this morning. That'll put the old man at his haunt in Lower Lanoska. Here, take the sack of blunt and pay the visit to the old House of Sticks. That's kobold territory. If you didn't know, the old man bribes them with ore and hires the biggest, meanest sods as bodyguards. Just be ready for your approach to be challenged. Okay. Lower Lanoska, you say? Oh, don't interrupt that. Go, go. Whew. Level 38 now. Can we wear new stuff? We sure can't. Way up north. Nice day. Did Lower Lanoska get prettier? I feel like they did do like a big graphics update for Final Fantasy XIV. Like, this is the first time I'm really starting to notice a difference in the trees, if there is one. Maybe I've been playing too much Bitcraft. I'm getting used to like low poly trees. Alright, cool. We'll fight. Howdy. Welcome to the House of Sticks, young rogue. You must excuse my hireland's enthusiasm for greeting visitors. Now, have you any cumbersome baggage of which I might relieve you before we begin our conversation in earnest? Garp. A heavy burden for one of your tender years to bear. Tender years. But its weight has balanced the scales. The sum is paid, the deal is made. Let us speak of these reformists. This faction that so wronged the code now seeks to peddle one of its stolen treasures. The earrings better known as the Silver Sorrows. The deal, it is said, is set to take place at Costa del Sol. The buyer? A moneyed merchant from the golden sands of Ulda. Earrings will be out in the open, vulnerable. Would target the moment of transaction were I so inclined, as the gentleman up there by the cabin appears to be, where he purchased the self-same information. Though he attempts to now disguise his identity, the stench of a soldier yet lingers. I know not where one such as he came to learn of my existence, but I suspect he works for the certain yellow-coated captain. Brave she is, but foolish, stumbled blindly into the underworld, and your groping hands will not save you from the holes at your feet. Sudden shall be her fall. Alright. Costa del Sol, that's a long way from here. But I'm supposed to speak with Jack at the Rogues Guild. Really gonna have me run all the way there just to run to Costa del Sol? Rude. Glimpse elements is starting to grow on me a little bit. It looks pretty decent during the day. Redania's still my favorite starting city, though. Welcome back, old. What information did the old man have on them? Reformists. Looking to unload them earrings, are they? And to an old Don, no less. Can't say I'm surprised to hear the buyers from out of town go and find many Lamentsons willing to melt coin on out of the cove. Them coves are selling. Only the daftest of sods would go about funding them, as we mean to pull down the Admiral. Eh? One of Malala's lackeys arrived at the house before you. How did they know? Well, them curs must have cackled during the shrew's interrogations. We'll have to assume the Yellow Jackets know what we know. And that means we'd best get our arses to Costa del Sol right bleeding now. I'll handle this one, Jack. You and old wait here for Perimu. Alright, Vacabe. The hell's she playing at? After her lad, she knows this ain't a solo job. All ye rogues. All you bully rooks in your buskin boots. Gabby, are you in these bushes? I told you to wait at the guild. I don't need... Well, might be as I could use an extra cove in the shadows after all. Jack has his mind set on punishing the executioners, but me? Just want to skulk in, blow him silver bits, and skulk out. Reckon that if I could manage that with no one the wiser, when they wouldn't know who to come after, finish the job without drawing me daggers, you know? Ain't exactly true to the code, but the shield of underworld honor won't stop them bloody killers from cutting me mates' throats and setting the sisters a glimmer. The guild's the only place would offer to take in a pirate stray like me, and I'll not see it burn to the ground. Deal's about to start. Say the wid when you're bene to head in. Bene. Alright, well here's what we know. The rich merchant what comes over the old is some mate of the old master Gigaruju. The coal as owns Costa del Sol. Gigaruju's taken his guards and dancing dells and pranced off down the beach someplace, giving over the use of the entire resort to his friend. Seems she didn't want the audience for her bargain with the reformists. Which, as it happens, works well for us. We'll wait until they're busy haggling over the price, and we'll snatch the sorrows and up the twig before they even realize aught's amiss. Sound like a plan? Okay. There. Players have arrived. The reformists, point counter, and the old Don buyer setting up on the southeast platform. Earrings ought to be nearby. Hang about? Where are all these other coals? Place was meant to be empty. See some nasty looking blokes in old Don garb and those mammoths? Ugh. Merchants brought around a whole bloody entourage. Got ahead of myself. Should have realized the job never be that easy. I'll have to mill a few of them bodyguards first, I reckon. You don't want to fight through the forest blades should you get caught sneaking up on them narrow walkways. Jack, I thought I'd... No, your excuses, love. I know full well what you're about. You start going soft on us, though, and it'll be like losing one of me arms. I can't take the bloody executioners on all by myself. It's only because I got rogues like you and Underfoot and Old here that the guild can well take the jobs it does. When Harkovs walk the shadows, the bleeding pirates would do the trembling. Remember that, Vakebi. We ain't some two guild robbers what piss their breeches when their daddles are caught in the honeypot. We're the knives and the darkmans, and no bastard wants to go blade to blade with the likes of us. I see you've not changed your mind then. Need all the stabbery you can get. I promise mine'll be there when you need them. Bene. Now let's carve a path to the platform and bite back them earrings. Vakebi, you hide yourself down by the docks in case the marks escape during the fighting. Old, you and me'll split up and mill the guards as we do. It's them puppets that concern me the most. I suggest you crash them little buckers before they spring any rum fun. Creep in as close as you dare, give them a good solid clout behind. Aye, in the most original strategy, but don't make it any less lethal. Once you're done with the first group, slip back into the shadows and move on to the next. Not to it, eh? I'll head over to the back while you start from the front. Let's wrap this up before them jackets blunder in and scare off our marks. To the shadow. Can I just, like, not fight these guys, though? I mean, he told me to. I feel like it's not entirely necessary. This bastard's made of solid rock. Oh, get over here and stop chipping. Where are you? Oh, I see him. You died, right? Yeah. Making sure. Jack, you spoiled my surprise. Some rogue you are. I was fixing the sneak attack and it was gonna be beautiful. Rogues? No one mentioned aught about rogues. What the hell's do you bloody think you're doing? Conducting business transaction on behalf of the bloody executioners. Do you understand what that means? You know what they'll do to you? Aye, I'm all affrighted. Odd. Then, that you're the one who's shaken. Don't matter much to me who you work for. Your bosses broke the code and we're here to collect. Those would be the Silver Sorrows, then. I'm sure you paid a caravan of coin for them, shiny baubles. But I doubt they're worth your life. Let's have them, then. Wait, damn you. You should know that this personage is an extremely influential member of the East Aldern Trading Company. Surely you've heard of it. If the threat of reprisal will not stray your hand, then consider the political ramifications of interfering with a foreign dignitary. The Admiral would not desire you damage Limsa's relations with Ul'dah. Yeah, exactly. I'm highly placed in Ul'dah society. I have powerful friends who would not be pleased were you to mistreat me in any fashion. And you must understand the Silver Sorrows are a historical treasure, a gift once bestowed upon Sultana Nanasha ul Nasha by her champion. The earrings were later stolen from the royal vault, and we'd lost hope of ever recovering them. That I might so easily purchase them thus is a miracle. Then the return on these trinkets will be, or that is to say, the sorrows must be returned to Ul'dah. Do you not look the other way for the sake of my nation's pride? You must think me some dumb-witted thug. If this deal was being made on behalf of your country, then why are you sneaking around consorting with pirates? An excellent point. One might doubt the quality of your character were you to continue with these feeble fabrications. You need only entrust the earrings to me, should you truly wish to see them return to Ul'dah. That is, after all, was to fulfill the very purpose of the thalassocracy bid on the sorrows in the first place. Bit late there, aren't you, Captain? Think you'll agree this round belongs to us. On the contrary, my dear scoundrel, I made the winning move the moment I knew we were dealing with a merchant of Ul'dah. Come bearing the official order of seizure authorized by the Admiral herself. You will not be harmed, but I must insist you cooperate with this reclamation of unlawfully obtained goods. Though Costa del Sol is private property, it is nevertheless within state-governed territory. Come along quietly. We need not inconvenience Master Gegaruju any further. These suspects will be taken into Yellow Jacket custody, and do not concern yourself with the Silver Sorrows. They'll be quite safe with me. Oh, dang. I don't know, could we at least call that one a draw? Talk with Jack at Costa del Sol. There he is. The hells take that canary-colored harpy. Might as well have handed the things to her on a velvet cushion. Go find Underfoot and help him with his digging. There's still that last treasure out there, and you can be sure the reformers won't be giving it up without a fight. Aye, you do that. Any luck to you, love? Ah, there you are. You left before the events had truly been decided, and I thought you deserved to know the score. The old Don merchant has acquiesced to our request and surrendered the Silver Sorrows into our keeping. We've also apprehended the reformist accountant, and we will be holding him for further questioning. Aho, Bonin, an associate of the Bloody Executioners. You Yellow Jackets don't flinch from your duty. I'll give you that. And what's this I hear about you buying information, Captain? Thought you'd sooner die than associate with the elements of the underworld. Well, do what I must to stay ahead in this challenge. And that marketeer's knowledge was vital to the case. It's true, I might find his practices distasteful. He's no pirate. It is the fading era of piracy which I mean to consign to the history books. That chapter will never be fully closed until every pirate-spawned relic, including you and your guild, become a thing of the past. Valiant and forthright, these are the words by which the Yellow Jackets live. It is the manner which we protect Limsa Lamensa. I swore an oath on the graves of me sisters. No more shall the innocent suffer at the hands of these savage buccaneers, these unrepentant killers. And a grand oath it is. Me, I've got me fambles full just keeping the code intact. But the code is kind of an oath too, when you get down to it. And since I've sworn to uphold it, I've no intention of stepping aside and let you trample all over me and me coves. In fact, you'd be better off giving in now before it gets proper serious. Just say you're sorry and admit defeat, and we'll leave it at that, eh? Your audacity knows no bounds. I'm done wasting words. Shall reclaim the last treasure, and then I'll be off. Now I'll look victorious as your guild is dismantled brick by brick. That's the spirit, Captain. Just don't forget to keep an eye on them earrings. Say he's crawling with rogues, you know. You could keep the Sorrows in a bloody lockbox in a coral tower, but look away for a moment, one of them coves will bite them beauties right back. Come on, old. Back to the sisters for us. Okay. Want to be a ninja. How far am I from being a ninja? Alright, this will just be a second. Sorrows. 2 more missions, I think. Maybe I could squeeze them through. Where am I? Gotta hustle though. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, White Cotton. How are you doing? Kids are awake. And at least one of them needs to head to camp. Well, after all that hard work, the shrew made off with the spoils. As far as her damn contest goes, I suppose that makes us even. It'll be the last treasure, this black sarcophagus, that decides the victor. Whatever the reformists are doing to keep it Bob, you can bet your grandmom's teeth there'll be some blade work needed before this job is done. Get yourself ready for a proper scrap, old. Okay. Really like the way they did the crafting system in this game. I kind of liked it. Unlike the original release, like way back in the day when like crafting, I don't know, I never really got into crafting, but at least the gathering was a bit more of a mini game. Now it's just tink 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 on the node. You know, isn't the worst thing. I was wondering when you'd show up, old, but bugger me if you didn't look ready to mill an entire crew of sods by yourself. And Benny that you are, because we finally uncovered some hard facts about the last treasure. Won't be long now before we cloy the win in peace and put this daft challenge to bed. Alright, gather the other coves for a meeting, so let's get down to it. At long last, the black sarcophagus has given up its secrets. Underfoot, you have some news for us? Aye, Jack. I think half the trouble's in whittling the truth of it lay in calling this nasty thing a treasure. Black sarcophagus ain't no dimmer bauble. It's the mark, what is L? 21st Magitech mine? A bleeding prototype explosive? What was bitten from an Imperial transport vessel. And even though it ain't that big, maybe the size of a small cargo box, they say the blast would have enough kick to incinerate a bloody behemoth. Seems the Garleans meant to start production at their factory in Lenoska, then distribute the mines through the Castrum Marinum. Luckily, some plucky privateer cloyed the prototype en route, and hey, an experimental weapon. Explains why the thalassocracy was so bleeding eager to bid at that auction, so reluctant to share the details with us. At least we know the what, but then there's still a question of the where. The Curs delivered their bitten goods to the reformists, that much is certain. What happened to the sarcophagus after that, though? We ain't so sure. There'll be no reports of a huge explosion or the like, so either the executioners still have the mine or they peddled it to some other buyer. Reformist faction came together out of their shared hatred for the Admiral and her ways. I'm guessing they didn't cloy the bomb just to sell it. What is it, Lonnie? A letter for you, Jack. It says it's urgent. Letter? Who's it from? The old man. Found it while I was sorting through our daily deliveries. Let's see now. Come to Thalos. I have urgent news. Never heard of the old man to summon a customer. No one's seen him at his usual haunts for a while, so you reckon he's this some rum morsel he's dug up just for us? Hey, could be. Old, you and me are heading to Thalos. Underfoot Vakibi. Here to take another stab at pinning down the location of the sarcophagus. Good morning, daughter. How are you? Hey, can you make yourself breakfast today? Thank you. Alright, where are we going? The heck is Thalos? Technically Upper Lenoska? I have to fly across the lake? Dude. Just want to be a ninja. All I've ever wanted to be, really. Somewhere in my YouTube recommendations, I saw somebody was playing a game of Naruto D&D. I gotta say, that sounds pretty awesome. If I was in Naruto, I'd probably be from Village of Hidden Calories. Oh, he's dead. You're done for, rogue. Well, alright. I don't feel very done for. Man, just killing an old man in the streets like this. Oh, look, it's old. It is old. You're wasting your time, darling. We opened that Scrag's wrinkled throat bells ago. You cross the bloody executioners and you get what's coming to you. Did you like our message? We wasn't sure you'd fall for it, but a little mystery goes a long way, eh? I don't be like that, darling. Me and my mates didn't have much choice. When the boss says go play with the rogues, we gotta go play with the rogues. After all, we never asked you to come ruin our game now, did we? And don't give me no long-winded speech about your precious code. Our reformist vision stretched far beyond what them tire old rules is good for. Once Captain Izabir takes command of the executioners, he'll give us back the teeth we lost when we submitted to the Admiral's leash. We'll be the terrors of the sea once more, free to rove and plunder in the new pirate age of glory. And I'll bathe in blood to see that age come to pass. And I'll kick down your shite stinking code and have all your stinking heads on the chopping block. Like hells you will. The only sentence what's being passed today is yours. Hello there, darling. Ain't you a fine-looking lad? I've heard all this prattle before. Free to pillage and plunder, is it? Aye, it all sounds grand, but you don't think of the price. That shite stinking code is the only thing that keeps you bloody coves from milling on one another. Without it, without Limsa Laminsa to call your home, you'd be adrift in an ocean full of quarrons. But if you're so keen to keep company of the dead, I'll be soddy happy to oblige. You was prettier with your gob shut, but I can see I'm out of my depth here. Much as I'd like to lop off your noggins, I'll have to be satisfied with dragging the two of you out of your wilds. Out into the wilds. Kept you well out of the way, haven't I? Out with it then. Ain't it obvious? You stubborn scrags are looking to swipe our new toy. My job was to stall you. Captain has the mine, and with him right now. He's set to show the rest of the executioners why he's got the stones to sit in the leader's chair. And what better way to do that by executing the bitch what snapped the chains on our crew? Targeting the Admiral herself. Playing to blow up the command room, ain't you? Aye, you gave me plenty. You have me permission to panic. Of course, I'd rather steer clear of the city. I'd be glad to keep your company right here, sweet meat. Tired of the old rules? Old was young when they made the rules. I'll follow the code, you bloody ruggedin. Yarr. You have the right of it. We got this mad Mort at our mercy, but she seems to be enjoying herself. I'd better drag her back to the guild and see what other information she'll spill. I need you back at Limsa Laminsa as well. Hello, Beetle. But you've business of the foremast first. You should find Captain Malala at her post there. Forget about the sudden challenges and tell her everything we know, unless me judgment's well off kilter. She'll do what needs to be done. He flirting? He flirting. At the foremast. I assume that's in Limsa. Zoop. Having cookies for breakfast? That makes sense. Honestly, I'll probably have cookies for breakfast too. Yeah, make sure you have shoes and socks on. You're ready to go to camp, okay? Now, seriously, where's the foremast? Here somewhere? I actually see it. Am I blind? I might be. Alright. It's not here at all. Zoop. Well, the Admiral's dead. Because I thought I knew better than to look at the quest. We did our best. Darling, you mind eating them cookies at the table? Love my daughter, but it's a little distracting having her, like, chew cookies in my ear. My mic filters well enough that, like, it's not coming through, I don't think. But, man, was loud on my side. Oh, you're one of Jack's rogues? Come to steal the sorrows, have you? Well, you shan't have them. As you can see, they're safely clasped on my very own... Oh. Can I here for the earrings? The Admiral, you say? Are you sure these fiends are in possession of the sarcophagus? I must deploy the sentries at once. I think this voids our challenge, rogue. And you can relay as much to your impudent guildmaster. I suppose you can thank him for the warning as well. That was a plump chocobo booty. The only kind fit for me to ride. Look at that booty. Look at that cake. Look at that cake. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Now I have to run to the rogue's good. You pint-sized nenny get to work before I get to punting. Arg. Yar. Oh. Of course the entryway is here. Let me land on the bridge. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Reminds you of the perfection meme? Yeah. Show me the cake. No, the real cake. Said the real cake. Ah, yeah. I haven't watched 50 Shades of Grey. Or read the book for that matter. That ain't good. I mean, it's got to be a little good. It was very, very popular. Somebody must have saw something to it, right? The real cake is actually cheesecake. I hear that. Love a good cake. The Cheesecake Factory makes this, makes a cake that I tend to get for all special occasions if I can. It's, that scene was from X-Men? Sorry, the Perfection one? I thought it was from 50 Shades of Grey. I just assumed. Well, dang. Maybe 50 Shades of Jean Grey. Am I right? Yeah, it's Magneto. Well, dang. So, the jackets are on the move. Benny, been listening to that addled pirate cackle since I got her back to the sisters. When she's given us not what we didn't already know. Now that we know more than enough, I'd say we rally the rogues and go after that mine before it blows up our muns. Not our muns. Very good game right here. It is a good game. You've only watched. Well, like, it's one of the better games to watch, especially you got someone to read the story to you. Like, out of all the video games of all time, like, I might actually nominate this game for best story in any video game. The leader of the reformists, this Captain Isa Beer, is planning on milling the Admiral with a bang, then my guess he'll be aiming to demolish the entire command room. You know the mizzenmast, the tower what holds the drowning wench in the bulwark hole. The Admiral's bridge and her command room are right at the top of it. Then you've got the district what surrounds the mizzenmast. That's the busy beating heart of the city. Even with the threat of an attack, you can't just seal it up in the blink of an eye and call the whole thing Bob. Try to explain the danger of the coals what live and work here, and you'd have a frightened stampeding mob in your fambles. Nay, lad, our only option is to have our eyes snilching at every approach to the tower. But put the wit out to as many coves as I can, and spread them throughout the streets. Your job will be to cover the aft castle. Just wait and see, old. We'll get this Isa Beer and his little bomb, too. How's the Final Fantasy going? The free trial for this game is real nice. Yeah, I think I've played maybe 100 hours of this game, and I still haven't gotten to the end of the free trial yet. Like, the free trial is like 160 hours of solid, like, unfiltered content. So good. Old man wants to read 50 Shades of Grey. It's a story about a woman and she meets an attractive rich guy who happens to like her, and he is also single. Okay. I mean, sounds alright. Sounds like romantic comedy material to me. I mean, like, if a book is popular, I assume there's more to it than, like, guy wants to bone girl. But then again, that is the most popular story on the internet. Probably the most PG description I've ever heard of that. Yeah. Yeah, that is a very PG description, I suppose. So that's one of the lighter grades. One of the lighter shades. Honestly, I think he's up to no good. We haven't seen him, like, much at all. But he did warn us about the bomb, so, like, he wouldn't be the bad guy. Single or rich white guy that is straight and is interested in you and is also not married. It's a true fan fiction. Fog picked a grand night to roll in thick. This will make things interesting. Our presence on the streets is far too thin. Where are the reinforcements I ordered? My apologies, Captain. There just aren't any more soldiers to spare. The bulk of our force has already been assigned to guard not only the Admiral, but a number of the other high-ranking personnel as well. Unacceptable. Could Commodore Rayner be thinking? There are dangerous criminals stalking the city as we speak. Call in the squads from the outposts if you must. Much to see our security tightened and the populace properly protected. But we can't be certain the pirates' plan hasn't changed. We consider the possibility that they switch targets outside the walls. It would be folly to weaken those defenses. Made your point, Sergeant. Now return to your post. Someone punt that Lalafell. I don't know. I kind of like her. Sassy. You like her, daughter? You want to be a little potato like this one? Yeah, potato. Once all is lost, it was far too late to question what one should have done. Seem troubled, sir. Perhaps I can be of assist. Oh, dang. I've been dying to meet you, lass. I need to set eyes on the bold yellow belly, what cost our crew a fortune in Uldon coin. You're an executioner. One of Isabeer's men. You've strayed too far into a world you don't understand, lass. Your eyes is fixed on the light of justice, leaving you blind to the chasm opening at your feet. The potato. She's been Julianed. At least they'll say you died with your boots on. The yellow belly won't be bothering us no more, Captain. As for the mine, the lads will have it primed in front of the wench by the time you get there. Good. Not long now before we drag that bitch Admiral, her pretty tower, and all her simpering curs down to the bottom of the sea. Don't repeat any of that, daughter. Then I'll raise our flag upon the ruins the mizzenmast and lead our brethren in return to the old ways of blood and plunder. Another bald guy. There aren't that many bald guys in this game. I feel like it's a fair representation of the bald in real life. Have that last bottle. Bottles? Wife is gonna kill me. Huh? What's all this then? After Commander Room, they mean to bring down the entire tower. If the mizzenmast falls, the bridges will follow. Half the city will... Please, must help me. Danger far greater than we... Bloody hells, it's alive! No, I didn't see nothing. Didn't see... Please, you must send word. One must be told. so-called bad guys. Professor Xavier, Lex Luthor, Mr. Manhattan, Jeff Bezos, and then this Rogadin? Hey, on Twitch, I'm actually officially on Jeff Bezos' payroll. By the way, if you use your Prime subscription, you can take $5 directly from Jeff Bezos. Give me $250 of it, and then $250 back to Jeff Bezos for some reason. Fair deal, I'd say. How did you... You're a valiant and forthright weapon. You could hear a single pistol shot from miles away. Weren't that hard to guess what'd happen. I poked the yellow jackets on me way over. A healer will be here shortly. Benny, that means we've got one last thing to do. We've never been allies, but I beg of you. You must stop them. Save the city. Alas, you know you didn't need to ask. Taking down mad coves and biting back was what was bitten is our job. See, Jeff gets a 70% of the money you earned, and that's highway... 70% cut of the money you earned. It's highway robbery, you tell me. Well, I don't think the split's that bad, but yeah. Yeah, I am definitely getting mugged. You all set then? Sounds like somebody needs to call the Rogues Guild. Ready, Jack. Always. They murdered that Lalafell? Believe they prefer the term mashed? Then let's go cloy that sarcophagus and fit Izabir for a new coffin. Get 'em! Keep watch from my position at the outcast. Make way for the Mizzenmass and find Izabir. Am I supposed to be doing that? Should I be running? Or am I helping the fighting? I can't tell. I mean, we got time to murder all these people. Doing alright there, Jack? Just keep the wave of a stampede going. You have your shoes and socks on for camp, dear. Yeah, you better. Benny, you know I hate tracking down stragglers. Yeah. Getting intense in here. The creators of Final Fantasy XIV are Lalafells. Those bad guys made a big mistake. Sorry, what? Oh. Yoshi P is a Lalafell? That makes a lot of sense. You know, I thought long and hard about like what class to be or what race to be as an old man. Rogadins have the better beard. That's for sure. But like, I never liked playing like the tiny meme races in RPGs. Like the gnomes in World of Warcraft. Oh, I'm fighting Izabir himself. I wasn't paying attention. Hi, Captain. I was expecting someone smaller. But there's something about, like, you know, entering Warsong Gulch as a giant Tauren warrior in some overly decked out level 30 gnome warrior kills you and then emotes on your corpse, and you're just like, this feels so wrong. Like, I'm a small guy in real life. I know better than to, like, fight an actual Minotaur. Stop that. You're gonna explode. Old mill all them detonators. We'll keep the cove busy. Oh. Sorry, I didn't realize I had a job to do. Destroy the detonators. Are you a detonator? I'll just have to murder all the way over here, just to be sure. Detonating in 30 seconds. Oof. There's one. Dude, I might fail this mission just because I didn't stop to read. "10 seconds. Well. 5. I saved the day. Bomb, we're too late. Dude, he failed. I deserve this. Alright, let's do it again. Normal. Listen. Not being able to read wasn't a skill issue. Yeah, we did see this. Alright, we'll kill these little guys. Noisy over here. Man, you love the rogue missions. Gladiator's a lot of fun too. I like Gladiator. I didn't think it was that good in Heaven's Ward. The last time I played this game seriously, like, Gladiator was the job I went for. But I'm having a lot of fun with these rogue missions. They're really well done. Marauder was kind of lame. Astrologian was at least interesting. What comes after Stormblood? Shadowbringers? I don't know what class I'm going to be for that one yet. I'm going through like every major type. No, I want to be a Pictomancer for Dawn Trail. So that just leaves like ranged physical DPS is one of the classes I'm missing, so that's like machinist, dancer, or archer. I haven't really decided which one of those to go with. Dark Knight is the best. Like, story-wise, I think that would be a good fit for Shadowbringers. Sorry. There was a detonator down there. I know there was. My concern is that there's a detonator up as well. Got a minute and a half. Yep, not this way. Hustle, 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 hustle. Tried to hit him from down there. I'm really excited to see what the ninja portion of this job is like. Dark Knight is the best because it's the best throughout. Oh. No. This wasn't part of me plan. I could have been king of the pirates. Next time, Luffy. I mean, Dark Knight is kind of edgelord for me, but you give it a shot. If that's what the people want. Status report. The mine has been disabled. The engineers should have soon have it safely removed. Our soldiers sustained some injuries in the battle with the reformists, but none were fatal. Also, the Admiral sends her deep, sincerest gratitude. Look, there she is. That's Captain Malala, the hero of Limsa Lominsa. Are you recovered from your wounds, Captain? We heard you nearly lost your life stopping that horde of pirates from blowing up the mizzenmast. 3 cheers for our yellow jackets. Our city'd be lost without you. Oh, wait. That's not how it... Sergeant, what of the rogues? Did they survive the battle? All rightly no, Captain. All we found near the sarcophagus were the reformists, either dead or strung up from the rafters. Alive, then. It would seem we are deeply in their debt. Captain? Might I have the silver sorrows from you now? We've been ordered to hand them over to the Commodore, along with the black sarcophagus. Why, of course. They're right here. The earrings! I could have sworn I was still... You wouldn't have. He stole them while I was dying? That cad! I knew he was not to be trusted. Keep an eye on him. Indeed, should have known. And he told her he was gonna do it too. Oh, he's wearing them. You sure about this, Jack? You should have cloyed the sarcophagus as well. I think she's earned it, don't you? If it bothers you that much, think of it as a trade. You You ask me, they look a bit daft. Well, I didn't ask you. So the jackets ended up with mine, and we got the diamond and the earrings, which means victory belongs to the Rogues Guild. You think Malala will leave it at that, then? I get the feeling we ain't done with her yet. You would have succeeded if you didn't mash the potato at the start? It's true. It's true. Never mash your potatoes. They're way better baked. I'd say we're still done with our challenge, but you never know in our past lacrosse again. We'll just have to see what Limsa's underbelly spits up next. The city ain't ever quiet for long. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Old. If I ever need a trusty pair of stabbers by my side, I know who to ask. I'm off as well. Bloody starving I am. Don't forget to yaffle a bite when you can, eh, Old? You'd best head back to the sisters, too, before the shrew decides she'd rather hear us cry cockles. Been at work, Old. Be seeing you. How did he do that? My earrings are nicer. You have earrings. You didn't see the earrings? Up here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Look at him jiggle. He's Eorzean Batman. Yeah. Alright. I'm still not officially a ninja, so we can't end at that. I mostly need to unlock ninjas so I can get the hotkeys set. Or the hotbars set up before I do the rest of the quests. Looking ahead inside? Yeah. I am streaming over an hour longer than I intended. That might be a mistake. Oh there, Old. It'll be nice to finally have a bit of a rest, eh? The job never ends, but even a dimmer-dammer like myself needs to breathe every now and again. And your venturing mates must be wondering where you got to. That was a proper long assignment, but I'm glad you decided to see it through. You've proven to be a stalwart protector of the code, even if this truly ain't truly your world. When you walk back upon the Lightmans, you'll have to find your own code to uphold. And when you do, you'll have the skills you learned in the shadows to help you defend it. That's more than enough prittle-prattle out of me. Your travels might take you far and wide, Old, but know you're always welcome here at the Sisters. Nice. These, like, double pants? Give me the gloves. I don't trust these pants. I don't like the pants that, like, take up the leg slot and the pants slot. Never trust them. Alright, Jack. Gonna learn ninja stuff. Old, keeping your stabbers sharpened, I hope? Because I got a job to be done. I reckon the dimmer-dammer what put the executioners on the chopping block is just the one to doing the doing. My men have sighted some shifty types around the wine port of late. No code-breaking curs so far as I know, and that's the rub. We don't know half as much about them as I'd like. They claim to be simple peasants, refugees from a far-flung realm, but I don't know many peasants what skulk about in the Darkmans as much as they've been doing. So long as they're not breaking the code, they can do as we please, but being who we are, falls on us to look into the matter of making sure it's all Bob. As my gut tells me, this may be a two-rogue job I sent Underfoot on ahead. So pull on your best beaters cases, head to Wineport, and meet them there. Aight. Love the Rogues Guild. They were written very well. They are. Honestly, I need to like brush up on my thieves' cant. Because it feels like they could just make up any word and I'd believe it. Dabber dally grabber grabblies. Old, when Jack said he'd be sending one of the guild's canniest coves along after me, I had a feeling it might be you. Now, I'd love to tell you old Underfoot's already whittled the whole scrap on our friends, but the truth is, turned up more questions than answers. Claim to hail from the South Sea Isles, but me little birds at Melvin's Gate swear that the last man, that's some piss poor mummery. There's no record of any such ship sailing into port. Looks like it falls to you and me to take a closer snilch, eh? I hope you brought your sharpest stabbers. There's no telling who we're... You hear that, lad? Either old Underfoot's gone daft or some mort just screamed out for dear life. Something tells me our little task is about to take a turn for the interesting. Let's say we go see what's what. It's actually based on Old English. You forget the words rhyme for other words they actually mean. I was told at one point they speak like standard pirate types. Thick Irish brogue. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yar. Yar? Oh, dang. Have mercy. I am but a simple milkmaid. Not a single guild in my name. Are we just talking about fan fiction? Rest easy, lass. My friend and I don't mean you no harm. Oh, I must say you got me curious. Just what in the name of 12 happened here? I just come to town to purchase some supplies. No sooner had I walked through the gates when I was suddenly accosted by 3 burly drunkards who demanded I hand over all my possessions. My good fortune, it seems the men had partaken a bit too heavily. When they saw the meager contents of my coin purse, they began to squabble amongst themselves. Fistfight ensued. Before I knew it, 3 men were lying on the ground as you see them now. Sounds like Nemeas smiled upon you, lass. Though I suggest you be a bit more careful on your next visit. Oh man, scurvy sorts frequent these parts. You'll find not all of them are blundering lackwits like your friends here. Thank you for your concern, good sir. Rest assured, I will take your words to heart. Good day to both of you. Ready to go to camp, daughter? 100%? Packed and everything? Lunch and everything? Okay. Well, old, how'd the girl's wids strike you? You seemed like an upright lass. You reckon? As for me, I got questions. Squabbling amongst themselves, just look. Barely a scratch on any of these louts. Hey, I'd wager there's some rum doxy that she's letting on. Let's go on the drag to see where she might be hiding. Yar. That bat? Never trust a day bat. It's not something fishy. In Final Fantasy XIV, it's called mummery. You mumming over here, Batman? I know. Ruby Neon here. Been following us this entire way. Ah, and a right mess we've got here. You reckon these coves got on the wrong side of our lass? One thing's for sure. There are no more peasants than you and I. Look at these stabbers, tells me as much. Failed. I beg of you, take this and return to Master Obero, the Lady Tsubame. It's too late. The poor sod's dead. For this stone, your guess is as good as mine. Lucky charm of sorts, mayhap? Hey, Road. Best start moving. Our dew beaters afore the last gets away. Footprints lead in the direction of Upper Lanoska. Hustle, hustle, hustle. This looks like a good place to find ninjas. He hides behind a tree. As if that could hide her from me.
Stay back.
She didn't really think she could fool me with the silly rags, did she? Or did she? Perhaps she's not as clever as we believed. And a mysterious savior rushes to the damsel's distress. Defense, such chivalry, such compassion, such folly. Little does he know the girl is more capable of taking care of herself. More than capable.
Oh.
More ninjas. And right on cue, Obero the Dim leaps onto the scene to save his dear little swallow in the most unsurprising surprise attack the realm has ever seen. Cease your ramblings, Karasu, before I rip that tongue from your bloody beak. Yow! Our hero is wounded. A stab through the heart. His childhood friends stand before him, blades drawn and hate in their eyes. Oh, the tragedy of it all. The audience sobs. And what's this? A couple of bit players who've forgotten to leave the stage. Did no one tell them their part to play in the play is long since over? Oh, and the faceless rogue shows unsurprising skill. Perhaps he has yet a role to play. I'll say this much. Like certain someone, at least you intrigue me. But other matters demand our hero's attention, so the first act must draw to a close. Come, my pet. Wait, Karasu. Ever quick to retreat, that one. The two gentlemen from Wineport. Did you follow me here? Beg your pardon, miss. My friend and I are here on behalf of the dutiful sisters. And you, sister, have some questions to answer. Lived on the underbelly of society long enough to recognize when a man's more than he seems. So make this easy for us, lass. Just tell us exactly who you are, what you're doing here. And here's hoping for both of your sakes that doesn't involve breaking no code. So you are the rogues of whom Lady Ugiri spoke. Forgive me. We were remiss in not seeking you out sooner. Very well. You shall know all there is to know. My name is Obero, and she is Tsubame. We hail from a village in Doma, several thousand malms from across the sea. We are... but perhaps you have no word for what we are. In our own tongue, One might call us shinobi? Doma, the Imperial Province. The same, though it did not have to be so. Our countrymen fought with honor against the men of Garlemald. What we lacked in number, we made up for in martial prowess. It was the battle we could have won, had we not been betrayed by one of our own. Our secret, our every move, known to our foe, the tide of battle turned on the morrow. Thousands of our countrymen were slaughtered, and at day's end, Doma remained under Imperial yoke. The traitorous Kerr joined the Imperial ranks as chief of their covert operatives, or so they say. As the man you just met, Karasu, though I'm loath to call him a man. To this day, he whispers in the ears of the Garleans, making a mockery of those who once called him friend and brother, but no longer. We come to Eorzea at our village's elder to be at Hest to pay Karasu, to see that Karasu pays for his crimes with his life. Come to mill a treacherous rook who blew the gab on his comrades. You sound like a right Bene Cove. Consider old Underfoot impressed. Give me, this land and its tongue is still new to us. Nevertheless, we were able to lure Karasu here, but more than a few of our comrades gave their lives in the effort. And now this? Is their sacrifice for naught? No, I found a pretty rock. You have my gratitude. When one of our kind falls, tradition dictates that we return their soul to the village, that it may rest with our ancestors. What? Our fallen brother's soul calls out to this man? Could it be a sign? Are we fated to fight as one? I would make you an offer. We will instruct you in the art of ninjutsu. In return, you will share with us your knowledge of this land, that it might serve us in our mission. But Obro, he's not Doman. He's not of our village. Look around you, Tsubame. Our brothers and sisters are fallen or gravely wounded. Today's failure makes it all too clear. We cannot hope to stand against Karasu without knowing the lay of the land. Can't say I'm thrilled at the prospect of losing a dimmer-dammer like yourself. Hells, my younger days, I'd have been keen to try my fams at one of those techniques myself. And the more my waddles take in, the more these two strike me as Banar and Banar folk. You keen to lend them your daddles, I'll not be one to stand in your way. You would like to know more? Come to the dock storehouse at Raincatch Gully. We shall wait you there. Yar. Am I a ninja yet? Who'd have figured, eh? Hey, Rod, the choice is yours. Yeah, the choice is yours, old. In the meantime, I'm going back to Limsa to report to Jack before he comes and gives me a clout on the knob. Ah, okay. Skedaddle. Seem to be running in the right direction. Sometimes the stream goes an hour and a half over. It just do be like that some days. I wasn't keen in showing up to work on time anyway today. Oop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. I mean, Final Fantasy XIV is especially like that. Like, you set, like, a goal for yourself, and you're like, it's only like 3 quests away. And then each quest tends to be an hour and a half. And so we meet again. Am I to take your presence to mean you have chosen to accept our offer? Yeah. Thank you. I speak not only for myself and Tsubame, but our entire village when I say of our profound gratitude. What I would tell you next, I would tell you out of the earshot of strangers. Yakubu has been instructed to only let trusted visitors through the door behind me. When he speaks to you, Ayame, you are to answer Kaede. You need not know what the words mean, only that they will grant you entrance. And those are names, aren't they? Heard them in animes. Ayame. Kaede. Enter. Welcome, Old. You stand in the provisional base of operations my people have established in your land of Eorzea. May not look like much, either without or within, but that is precisely the point. Find it an ideal vantage point in which to observe the comings and goings of Karasu and his men without attracting undue attention to ourselves. The fallen brethren saw you as a worthy inheritor to his soul. To honor his memory, I entrust it to you. But soul alone will not make you a shinobi, nah. It will require training, the body and mind. Our art, the art of ninjutsu, originated with our ancestors many years ago. Since then, it has been passed down with each generation, mother to daughter, father to son. Draw our power from the world around us, the heaven, the earth, and the hearts of man, and channel the power into physical form. I'm told that this is similar to your concept of aether, was it? Must confess that Eorzean words and ways remain unfamiliar to me. How does one channel this power, you ask? Through the use of mudra, hand gestures, and that call forth each of the three forms of energy of which I spoke. The first mudra, I will teach you, will call upon the power of the heavens. In Doma, we call this Ten. You are eager to learn, yes? Tune your soul to that of my fallen brethren, then approach me once more. It is then that your training will begin. Ayami means iris, and Kaede means maple tree. Neato. Alright. Iken has ninja? Hang on. Transfer? Recommended gear? I am now officially a ninja. Let's see. Let's return to town. Well, I can do that on my own time. Thank you so much for watching. I had a great time. We're going to play this every Friday forever for like 3 years. You know, forever. And we're gonna do it, well, supposedly 2 hours at a time. Today was like 3.5 hours. But we will get through the entire main story of Final Fantasy XIV eventually, and it'll be a great time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and before I leave, I will find somebody to raid. Usually, I've got a friend out here, Sandra, who also likes to do Final Fantasy Fridays. Let's hope she's still awake. Sandra. Yeah, there she is. She's doing some Shadowbringers, some such. Alright, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you're on YouTube, stick around. I'll find somebody to raid for you, too.